Coming up on this week's episode of Theme Park Worldwide, the show, I'm going to be talking about a potential new ride coming for 2019 to Futuroscope. Along with that, a brand new water slide making its way to Aquatica over in Orlando, and a famous British brand is making its way to Europa Park for the 2018 season. All that and more, including our Halloween section here on the show. I'm Shawn Sanbrooke, and that means it's time to cue those titles. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the show. Hope you're all having a fantastic week so far. It's been a very busy one for new videos here on the channel. Of course, we had a new episode of Let's Play Planet Coaster, with another one set to go online in a few days' time as well. A Halloween takeover, where I put all decorations up around the park and give it the spooky treatment. So stay tuned for that one. Along with that, our Thought Park Fright Nights vlog. We've also had two other vlogs from scare events go online this week. Yesterday we put on Extreme Scream Park, and a few days before that, Screamfest in Burton. So check out both of those. I'll be talking more about that in our Halloween section a little bit later on in this episode. Like I say, I've got quite a bit of theme park news to get through then this week, so let's kick straight in with news off the rails. Let's start off then by talking about Futuroscope and an exciting new project for the 2019 season. Now, for those of you that don't know, Futuroscope is one of those parks where it's very similar to Epcot in the fact that it's a representation of the future. You've got all these massive buildings with simulator-style rides inside, some really good shows around there as well, including a massive nighttime show, which looks beautiful, it really does. I've just never got the chance to go. I mean, I've wanted to visit for a long time, but I've never just booked the trip and gone for it. I think that's mainly due to what there is there. There's a lack of other rides at the moment. However, from everybody that goes, apparently it's not disappointing. It's a really nice park, so it's definitely somewhere I'll have to get out to see, and especially in 2019 with a big new roller coaster. Now, details on this at the moment are a little bit sketchy, but we're looking at a rumoured cost of 22 million euros. It's going to be themed to a space adventure. It's going to feature indoor and outdoor sections. So what I'm feeling with this so far is a bit sort of Space Mountain-y, with a few outdoor sections, maybe a bit like Tron sort of style, what you've got over at Shanghai Disneyland, and soon to be the Magic Kingdom in Florida. It's going to have a free-fall drop section, so very similar to 13. That sort of narrows down the manufacturers here. We can assume it's either going to be a Sierra roller coaster or Intamin, because they're the manufacturers that do the free-fall drop sections like 13, which is of course an Intamin roller coaster. And blimey God, that opened back in 2010, 7 years ago. It's crazy. But yeah, this looks very exciting for the park. Like I say, you've mainly got shows, walkthroughs, a few dark rides and simulators there at the moment. But Martin, who's been in a lot of the videos here on the channel, he's been there a few years back and he had a fantastic time. He said it's a really nice park and one that I need to go and see, especially for the nighttime show. So here we go, 2019 trip to Futuroscope, Martin. We'll have to include it with a mega trip. But yeah, it's definitely one of those to follow. Like I say, this news has come from one of the directors at the park who has spoke about future developments of the park and what's to come for the future. So yeah, very exciting. I look forward to following it here on the channel. Moving on then, a little bit of news from SeaWorld Orlando and about their water park, Aquatica, located just next door. Now they've announced that Ray Rush will be joining the lineup of attractions and open in spring 2018. Here's a little photo of it just at the side of me here. Ray Rush, a brand new water slide, an exciting launched family raft slide, including a thrilling translucent sphere and a huge open-air half-pipe shaped like a manta ray. I do like how many investments we're getting at SeaWorld in terms of the rides at the moment. It's good to see the sort of moving into the ride development. Of course, you've got Infinity Falls, which is a rapids ride opening there in SeaWorld Park itself in Florida. You also have Mako that opened a couple of years ago, the B&M Hypercoaster. So yeah, things are really looking up in terms of ride investment at the SeaWorld parks. And yeah, it's just exciting to sort of see what they're going to do in the future. But yeah, I do like how it's sort of shaped like a manta ray. That looks great. And yeah, launched family raft slide. Never been on anything like that, but who knows, maybe Europa Park's water park might feature something similar like that with a launched water slide. It's Europa Park, they like being very sort of innovative, so we'll see what happens with that one. But yeah, it looks good. This does. I look forward to getting out there again at some point and seeing all the new things over in Florida. Not too sure when that's next going to be, due to a lot of other trips planned. Obviously we're going to Dubai in January, a few other bits planned in America for next year. So yeah, I'm not too sure where that's going to be, but I'd like to get back there in the next couple of years and go and see everything new what Florida has to offer. That's the good thing about Orlando. You know, no matter when you go back, whether it's just been a few months or a few years, there's always going to be something new to see. With there being so many parks in such a close proximity, there's always new stuff opening up. So yeah, we'll follow that one and see that next year when that opens. There we go, Ray Rush at SeaWorld Orlando's Aquatica. Finally then, a bit of news, let's talk about Europa Park and a brand new IP and intellectual property coming to Europa Park for 2018, the next season. Now, as you all know, I'm not really a massive big fan of IPs, and this is interesting. Me personally, I'd much rather prefer that Europa Park stayed away from the IPs, build areas like Iceland where there isn't any, Ireland, that was a really nice area what they did, and yeah, I just prefer to stay away from IPs. However, this is an IP that I do quite like, but I'd still rather not be going in really. Paddington is coming to Europa Park. Paddington is going to be the central figure of the England themed area of the park, with a dedicated section including a shop. The brand's presence will also include a VR ride. So hang on a minute, what are they going to put VR on in the England themed area? All you've got is two actual rides really. I mean, you've got the Crazy Taxi and the London Bus. There's a few other things around. Of course, you've got Queen's Diamonds, you've got the Three Little Piglets restaurant, a few things around there. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what they actually put VR on, because they've only ever really done it on roller coasters, whether that's Pegasus, which they've done it on, or of course on their Mine Train as well, on their powered coaster. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting. I mean, it works really well, in my opinion, on Alpine Express. Not so much on Pegasus, but it's going to be just very interesting to see what they do with this one. But yeah, it's also been confirmed that the main ice show inside the park will be home to a Paddington themed show for next year as well, and then that show will be going on tour around Germany. Not clear at the moment if this show is going to be the same as what's going to go on tour. We can assume it's going to be, but again, that's not confirmed just yet. But yeah, Paddington themed ice show. Again, Europa Park I've always done their own themed shows in the past, so it's going to be very interesting to see what they do with this one. And like I say, we'll follow that here on the channel. Could we potentially seeing a few new smaller additions inside the England themed area at the park? Who knows? We'll follow it closely and keep you updated here on the channel. It's now time for our Screen Park Worldwide section. So as I mentioned back at the start of the episode, this week we went to two more Halloween attractions, one of those being Burton Screamfest, another one being the Extreme Scream Park, held at Twin Lakes in Melton Mowbray. Both of those vlogs are now online here at the channel, so check those out for our full maze reviews, roaming actor footage, and just genuinely capturing the atmosphere of these attractions. So like I say, make sure you check that out here on our YouTube channel. But yeah, we had a fantastic time at both events. I mean, I thought that Screamfest in Burton was better this year than it ever has been. I thought it was a really good night out. I mean, they've really changed the layout of things, made it feel a lot more like there's a hub area in the middle. And yeah, you've got 5 different attractions there this year, and they were really good. I mean, Demonica, the new attraction, was having quite a few issues on the night. So yeah, it wasn't running to its full potential in terms of smoke, and there was a few sort of blank spaces in there. But other than that, it was brilliant. The Corn Maze, Dia de los Muertos, that was brilliant. That was really, really good. Like a Mexican sort of theme going on in there, Mexican horror. That was great. Soul Seekers Returned, that was really good. Freak Out, that was enjoyable as well, a clown-themed curtains maze, and of course their main sort of attraction in my eyes there that I really enjoyed was Love Hurts, and that replaced Nocturnal last year, and yeah, it was really good. More new bits of theming in there, and it just genuinely had a really good atmosphere about it. So yeah, check out the vlog from there. Extreme Scream Park, brilliant as always, and like I say, I had a brilliant run through one of their mazes. In fact, it was the best scare maze I've ever been in all my years doing these scare attractions. It's called The Village, and it was absolutely amazing. So tune into the vlog for a detailed talk through of that. Along with that, we also did the Stilton Hall Hotel and Hell Spa. That was really good. Ash Hell Penitentiary, again, that was brilliant. The Pie Factory, some really good attractions there. The Clown Maze as well, Killer Clowns, that was okay. It's one of the weaker ones, the weaker maze there. Hoodoo Voodoo, that was new for this year, that was really good. Again, check out the vlog for a detailed talk about each different attraction there. Coming up then, and 2 more Halloween events this week. We are going to Dr. Fright's Halloween Nights. I'm actually going there tonight. It's Tuesday today when I record the show. I'm going there tonight, so stay tuned next week where I'll be talking about that, and of course the vlog as well. So Dr. Fright's Halloween Nights in Northampton. And this Friday, we're going to Scare Kingdom Scream Park, which is just outside of Preston. We're going up north for that one. And it's my first time at both of these events, Dr. Fright's Halloween Nights and Scare Kingdom, so I can't wait to do vlogs from both of them, and yeah, to share our general experience. So stay tuned for that here on the channel. Moving on then, it's now time for Name That Coaster.
You're like a roller coaster, move and shake me side to side. Yes, then I know, but I make you ride like a roller coaster.
So here we go then, Name That Coaster. Quite a few people got this one right last week. It wasn't that hard, I didn't think, this one, but it seems that some people struggled with it. But yeah, here we go. It was an Intamin roller coaster that I already mentioned earlier on in the show. It opened 7 years ago in 2010 at Alton Towers. An Intamin freefall coaster. It was, of course, 13. So well done to everyone who got that right. It's time for another one then this week. So here we go. It's time for this week's Name That Coaster. And stop the audio clip. Remember, this section of the show is just for fun. All you need to do is comment down below and I'll reveal what it was next week. Time for a bit of a spooky themed merch paradise then this week. As I mentioned just in our Scream Park Worldwide section, we did go over to Extreme Scream Park where we had a fantastic time, but you also get some free merchandise. So anyone that goes gets themselves a free pen. It's like an injection needle style pen, like a syringe. That's quite cool. And then you also get one of these, which is a car air freshener. There you go, just thought I'd share that with you. Free with any ticket to Extreme Scream Park. You get the pen and you get that. I'd show you the pen, but to be honest, I've lost it. I can't find it, but I have got the car air freshener. And yeah, Extreme Scream Park, how good is that they give you one of those for free and a pen as well. Just don't lose it like I have. Yeah, I just thought I'd share that with you this week. Got quite a few more items sort of that I've got recently here at the World of Theme Parks that I'm just going to clean up a little bit. Get a few little hints and tips to what they are there, and then I'll be sharing them in future episodes here on the show, so stay tuned for that in the coming weeks. So it's time for the final segment of this week's episode. It is, of course, TPW's Showcase. So here we go, let's have a little look at the photos and birthday shout-outs that you guys have sent in for this week. Here we go, we've firstly got Shawn, loving the name, at Universal Studios in Hollywood. We've then got Jake up next with a Nemesis on-ride photo. Thanks, Jake. We've then got Andy with a Shambhala on-ride photo from Ventura. Hope she was running well for you there, Andy. Moving on, we've got Seth, who had a photo there with Harry. Thanks for sending that one in. We then got Charlotte, who had a picture here with me. It was great to meet you. We then got Dan outside Stealth at Thorpe Park. Loving the photo. Thanks for sharing it with us. Next up we got Zach with a big one on-ride photo from Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Loving that. We then got Phoebe, who had a photo with Harry. There you go. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Harry, very popular this week. We then got Joey, who had a picture there with me. It was great to meet you. Then got Michelle, who had this family photo taken with me just there. It was lovely to meet you all, so thanks for sharing that one. We then got Anne and Rick at Toverland Halloween, so thank you very much for sharing that one. Hope you had a great time. I'd love to go to Toverland at Halloween. It's one of my favourite parks, and yeah, I'd just love to go and see it all. Next up then, we've got Callum, who's got a photo here of his merchandise collection. Moving on from that then, it's time for the birthday shout-outs for this week. A big happy birthday to Shawn. It's not my birthday, I promise. A big happy birthday to Shawn, Laurie, Katie, Logan and Dan. Happy birthday from myself and everybody else here at Theme Park Worldwide. That is all for this week's episode of the show. Hope you've enjoyed watching. I'll be back next Wednesday with more theme park news, more Halloween news, and make sure you check out our different vlogs that will be online throughout the week here on our YouTube channel. I'm Shawn Sanbrooke. Thanks for watching Theme Park Worldwide, the show, and that means it's time to cue those credits. See you later, guys.
We'll be right back.